biggest takeaways from TRE last week is that every brand now, whether they're a performance running brand, an outdoor brand, a tennis brand that makes running shoes, has a carbon fiber plated racing shoe. The full list of new carbon fiber racers is 15 plus shoes long, and I still might make that video, but today I want to spotlight the 5 most exciting of those new shoes. It seems like just having PEBA and a plate is no longer enough. There's tons of new innovation and tech going into these shoes. So I'm gonna use this video to highlight some of those most unique shoes that are hitting the market in 2024 for race day. Alright guys, before we get into it today, I did want to mention the new Supwell Running Instagram account. If you aren't following that already, go head over to IG and give us a follow. I'm going to be doing another giveaway soon. Congrats to all the Fuel Box giveaway winners. Your gifts will be in the mail tomorrow, maybe by today, by the time that you're watching this. I'm putting all my cool shoe pictures from TRE on that account as well, and make sure to follow that account for all the latest and greatest on Instagram. Alright, let's get into it. So the first marathon shoe that I am most excited about for 2024 is the Diadora Gara. Now this is a shoe that uses, yes, PEBA foam paired with a carbon fiber plate, but what makes this shoe unique is that the plate geometry was engineered by Ferrari. So Diadora told me they'd been having this shoe in development for 3 to 4 years. They didn't want to rush a shoe to the market just to compete with the Nikes and Sauconys of the world. So they took their time with it. They did a lot of studies to get the exact geometry of the plate right, and they couldn't execute that on their own. So they partnered with another Italian manufacturing brand, Ferrari, who was able to get the exact right angle of this plate for a fast ride. Now, they told me that this was tested in the lab to be more efficient than every single marathon race day shoe on the market right now. The only one that it didn't beat out, and that's only because it wasn't tested yet against it, is the Adidas Pro Evo 1. So this is coming in at a price point of $300. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive than most of the other shoes, but so are the rest of Diadora's lineup, and it will be available on January 1st. Alright guys, the next carbon fiber plated marathon shoe that I'm pumped about coming out in 2024 is the TYR Valkyrie Elite. So TYR is a brand that cut its teeth in swimming, and they told me during the pandemic people weren't going to gyms, they weren't going into pools, so their sales plummeted, and as a result of that they decided to get into footwear. So with the Valkyrie and also another shoe called the Speedwork that's going to be a plated trainer, they're entering the performance running space with really competitive models. So the Valkyrie Elite was designed for former athletes, a lot of CrossFit athletes who tend to run a little bit more on the balls of their toes. So this has a wider base, also a late stage rocker up there in the forefoot, so that if you do run on the balls of your feet, you can unlock the benefits of that PEBA foam and that plate. So the foam in here is going to be a beaded PEBA, similar to what we have in the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. It is going to be in the 7-ounce range for weight, and it's going to be priced square down the middle of the market at $250. So if you're a bigger, more powerful runner, former athlete, CrossFit athlete who runs up on the balls of your feet, this looks like a super competitive option. And what I love the most about it is that TYR knew exactly who they were designing the shoe for. I think a lot of brands out there just say, hey, let's get some PEBA, let's get a carbon fiber plate, let's make a racer. That is no longer enough in this market. PEBA is a commodity, so you need to have an idea who this product is for, who is going to buy the shoe and get the most benefit out of it, and TYR did have that. Alright guys, the next carbon fiber plated marathon shoe that I'm excited for in 2024 is the New Balance SC Pacer V2. Now, the SC Elite is their top dog marathon racer. That one has a massive stack of that PEBA foam, 40 millimeters. SC Pacer is a little bit more stripped down. The heel is 33 millimeters for men, and it's going to come in at a lighter weight and have more of a ground contact feeling. So they developed this shoe in concert with Emily Sisson, who's one of their elite women marathoners, and she preferred the SC Pacer V1 for her racing versus the last versions of the SC Elite. I love to see New Balance offering 2 different racing shoe options. I'm guessing most runners will use this shoe for workouts and also for shorter distance races, but if you are a lighter runner or if you don't love the feeling of a ton of soft squishy foam under your feet, SC Pacer V2 is going to be a great option for race day for you. Now, I did a ton of workouts in my last training cycle in the New Balance Rebel V3. As many of you heard me talk about, I love having that flexible, snappy shoe for workouts and just having something in the rotation that allows you to work your lower legs a bit more than some of these massive stack foam shoes. And SC Pacer V2 takes that ethos and that mentality and is offering that for race day. I ran a half marathon last year in the Takumi Sen. I know plenty of others who've raced in the Takumi Sen for longer distances. So if you have done that and you want a little bit of a firmer feeling, that that full carbon fiber plate, then the SC Pacer V2 is going to be an excellent choice for you. And remember, it wasn't too long ago, 5-6 years ago, when racing flats were the norm that had almost no cushion. So this is a huge step up from that, but does offer a little bit of that benefit without having the same harshness penalty as one of those traditional racing flats. All right, guys, the next race day shoe that I am super excited about is the Salomon S Spectur. So this is a marathon race day shoe that is designed not for elite athletes, but for everyday recreational runners in that 4-hour, 3:30 marathon range who are still looking to PR, to up their best, but who need a little bit more stability and support for the later stages of those marathons. So elites are gonna finish their marathon in 2 hours, 2 hours 10 minutes, 2 hours 15 minutes. Most of us will be out there for at least 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So given that we are on our feet for more time than elite, Salomon designed the shoe with a little bit more stability out in the back, a little bit more planted landings, because toward the end of those races at hour 2:50, hour 3, hour 3.5, our form starts to degrade a little bit. We start heel striking a little bit more, and we just need a little bit more cushion and support than those elites finishing in 2:05. So this one has a wrapped carbon fiber plate, holds the foot in place. It also has a bottom layer of EVA, a little bit firmer than the top layer of PEBA foam, but it's still gonna come in at a lightweight. And yes, it still will have that $200 plus price point. So I love to see Salomon serving this segment of the market that hasn't had a dedicated racer. Yes, the Mach X, Boston 12, and Speed 3 do have some overlap with the shoe, but there really is no dedicated plated marathon racer for that 3:30 4-hour marathoner, and that's where this one is coming in to serve the market. All right, guys, the last carbon fiber plated marathon shoe that I'm pumped about for next year is the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro 2. So the Pro 1 took Mizuno's reputation and completely gave it a 180. So Mizuno is a brand that's been putting out some quality shoes like the Wave Rider, the Inspire, that aren't necessarily fast performance oriented, more of those solid everyday trainers that are gonna give you that cushion, reliable feel for hundreds of miles. So the Wave Rebellion Pro 1 offered a fast, bouncy PEBA ride with that carbon fiber plate. It was also designed mostly for forefoot strikers. It had a little bit less foam in the heel to allow for more foam in the midfoot, put it above 40 millimeters in that midfoot. So the Wave Rebellion Pro 2 is gonna build on that, but some minor changes here that will make it a little bit more accessible and approachable to run in for most of us athletes out there. The first thing is they got rid of the bifurcated heel. They've closed up the back of that heel foam to add a more smooth landing platform in the back there. They've also changed the geometry of the plate so that it doesn't work the lower legs as much. So with those two changes, this should make this a lot more comfortable shoe to run in for us runners who aren't running 210, 220 marathons. And they told me they got these learnings from studying the top shoes out there on the market and what these other brands are doing. So it was refreshing for me to hear that from a brand rep. Yes, we are looking at what other companies are doing out there. We're not just in our silo working away like they sometimes try to say they are. So Mizuno, hats off to you. I'm really excited for everything this brand has coming in 2024 and beyond. They told me their vision is really to transform this brand within the next 2 to 3 years, but do it in a way that does not alienate their current core base. So with that PEBA, with that full length plate, but with still having that aggressive geometry and a little bit more of a different ride sensation due to the way that they shape the heel, this looks like it's going to be another competitive option in the market for 2024. All right, guys, so there you have it. Those are the 5 marathon shoes that I'm most excited about for 2024. Remember to give the Instagram a follow. I'm gonna be putting out a ton more pictures from TRE on there. Also throw some deals and giveaways out there. And I appreciate everyone who's already done so. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.